Every Nigerian note carries a face. But behind the 5 naira note, it is not just a portrait, it is the story of a man, a nation, and a dream that was both born and broken. Long before he became a symbol of leadership, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was just a boy from a quiet town in Bauchi. Life in the early 20th century northern Nigeria was simple. But it was strict. It was shaped by tradition, education, and discipline. From those early days, nothing about his background would have suggested that one day he would be at the center of Africa's largest political stage. Yet, education changed everything. You know, as that saying goes, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. For Abubakar, this was not just a quote, it became a lived reality. It grew into a teacher respected, calm, observant. In classrooms, it was not just teaching lessons, he was shaping minds. And those who knew him, they often described him as a soft-spoken, almost reserved. But beneath that calm voice was a growing awareness of a country still under colonial rule, and people searching for direction. By the 1940s, the classroom was no longer enough for Balewa. Politics was beckoning. And that was where destiny brought him in contact with another rising northern figure, Sir Ahmadu Bello. Their meeting and shared vision for the North would become a turning point, not only in Balewa's life, but in Nigeria's political history. Together, they stepped into the turbulent world of Nigeria's nationalism and helped form the Northern People Congress, known as the NPC. Of course, it was not an easy time. Nigeria was divided by region, culture, and competing visions for the future. But Balewa carried something rare, a reputation for balance. He was not loud, but when he spoke, people listened. His partnership with Sir Ahmadu Bello strengthened his political foundation and pushed him further into international leadership. That voice would eventually carry him beyond northern Nigeria. In the years leading to independence, Balewa rose through government ranks. From Minister of Works, then he became Minister of Transport, working on early plans for national infrastructure. But the real test came when Nigeria stood at the edge of freedom. On 1st October 1960, Nigeria became independent, and at the center of it all was Abubakar. He was now the country's first prime minister. He did not lead as a warrior, but he led as a bridge between the North and the South, between tradition and modernity, between competing political forces struggling to define a young nation. His leadership style was calm, diplomatic, and deeply rooted in the idea that Nigeria could not survive through anything but unity. Beyond Nigeria's border, his influence grew. He spoke for Africa at a time where many countries were still fighting for their own independence. His speeches earned him the title, the Golden Voice of Africa. He helped push forward conversations that would lead to the creation of Organization of African Unity, what we now know as the African Union. And for a moment, it seemed like a new Africa was possible, and Nigeria was at its center. But history is never too gentle for long. By the mid-1960s, political tension within Nigeria had begun to rise. Trust between regions was now broken. Power struggles was very deep. The unity Balewa preached was under pressure from forces he could not control. Then came the night of January 15, 1966. The silence of Lagos was broken by gunfire and military movement. Nigeria's first coup had begun. The Prime Minister was taken from his residence. No speeches, no public farewell, just disappearance into uncertainty. Days later, his body was found by the roadside near the Lagos-Ogun border. A leader who once represented stability now became a symbol of nation's fragility. Today, even though the 5 naira note is scarce, his name lives on in institutions like Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University in Bauchi and Tafawa Balewa Square in Lagos. But beyond momentums and currency, his real legacy is a question that still lingers. Can a nation as diverse as Nigeria ever fully achieve the unity Abubakar dreamt of?